This is called the Taurus RM100. This is the whole power center for the whole system. And what feeds it is a 50 amp, 240 volt service. And from that it breaks out to 110 volts and gives me 5 independent 20 amp circuits. It isolates the power from what's going on in the street and the grid from what's going on here in the theater room. This is the heart and soul of the Wisdom audio system.
So the Wisdom audio system controller performs some vital functions for every Sage series Wisdom audio speaker system. The speakers are often placed in locations within the room that may or may not be ideal for where that speaker would prefer to be in that room acoustically. So room correction is an important and vital part of every Sage series speaker system. Eric has been trained by Wisdom Audio to perform a highly detailed and specific calibration using a microphone placed throughout all the various listening positions in the theater so that every listening position within the room, no matter where you're sitting in there, will enjoy the same high quality level of sound. So the system controller is a vital part of every Sage series speaker system. It also provides Eric and the client a unique amount of flexibility in that there are 3 different listening curves that can be accessed via the touch panel within the theater itself. It could be for different musical listening tastes. For example, a music curve where the subwoofers would be a little dialed down, or a movie curve where the subwoofers would be brought up for a more enhanced bass response that more customers are fond of. Secondly, you could also use the 3 different settings for acoustical changes, meaning if you have a lot of glass in your room, you could have one set of measurements with the shades drawn, one set of measurements with the shades up. So the system controller is a vital part of every Sage series system, and once set up and calibrated, sits in and becomes just a part of the dedicated electronic system for the Wisdom audio system.
Okay, so we're back in the theater again. It's been a few weeks and the theater's progressing nicely. We're now at the point where we're going to stretch the fabric on the walls. And we're here today with Eric and John from Sound Nice.
Our system is primarily with the use of this patented snap track system. It's a track that we happen to be the manufacturers and the install company for, and what makes it unique is its hinge and interlocking jaw, all one-piece track. What's nice is that we're able to put the salvage inside the track, secure it by way of an interlocking jaw, and stretching it very tightly, leaving a very clean edge without the use of the traditional upholstery tack method around the edges. It's engineered specifically for sound to go through the fabric, which the audiovisual companies like yourselves, Eric, enjoy very much, so that your sound can come right through the fabric unobstructed.
We've seen the wall, now let's talk about the ceiling.
This is our patented snap track system. What makes it very unique than other systems that are in the market is that it has a hinge and interlocking jaw, as opposed to a friction fit system, which isn't quite as efficient over time. Our hinge and interlocking jaw has given us the ability to have 0 field failures in over 20 years. It also gives a very nice tight stretch. The tighter you stretch it, the more the jaw interlocks and the more it holds on. As you'll see, we have the salvage tucked in, and we're going to snap it right in, and it's there to stay once it's in.
So this is the largest room in the theater. It's a large space, and behind this panel are the acoustical panels. So Eric, how do you treat such a large space?
Well, it's a very good question. Here at Sound Nice, we have the ability with our snap track system to recreate virtually any size panel that is required by the client. We can put a sewn seam right down the middle, and under normal light conditions, the seam virtually disappears and gives the illusion of one large, very tightly fit panel.
We're here in our home theater with Becky, who represents the interior design aspect of this room.
The actual room won't take its real dimensional shape until the fabric is applied to the walls and the ceiling. From the perspective of the sound, acoustics, that has priority, but once you're sitting in the room and you're enjoying a movie and Avatar's playing, you want the overall space to feel like it's a great, comfortable, well thought out space. And so the owner wanted it to be a very rich environment, chocolate brown. And so we've accented with the Wenge columns and the Wenge base and crown mold, which will go in. Is good color, good texture, and sort of complements the rest of the architecture of the house, which is very crisp and modern, and that's our overall objective.
We're here with Jared from Screen Research. As you can see, we've brought the screen out now and unboxed it and started putting it together. Jared, maybe you can help us to understand exactly what the next steps are and what we can expect here from the screen.
Okay, we have the initial screen structure put together. We put on some support braces because it's such a large screen. From that point, we actually took the screen and we brought it up to the wall and made sure that all of our mounting brackets are level. And once this is ready to go, we just mount it straight to the wall.
I'm looking at a white screen here, obviously, and behind this is a black backing layer, right?
That's right. This is acoustically transparent screen. Now the black backing layer, it stops any light, one, from passing through. It also causes no extra sound degradation.
So even though there's 2 layers of fabric on this screen, you'll be able to transparently hear these speakers as if there was nothing here.
That's right. The openness of the black backing helps with the light, but it doesn't degrade the sound at all. From there, we'll actually be in place to go ahead and mount the screen to the wall.
Looking forward to seeing this in action. We've got our screen installed now. I've got Mike here with Screen Research. Mike, I just wanted to ask you a question about the acoustically transparent screen. Could you elaborate on that for us and explain it?
Yeah, what an acoustically transparent screen is it allows us to put our speakers behind the screen, which the benefit that you have of having speakers placed behind the screen is it represents the true cinematic experience. When you go to the theater, you don't see the speakers, but when you watch the image, the sound is coming from the screen, which allows your mind to actually believe what's going on the screen is actually happening. It just heightens the overall experience of what you're trying to watch, which is ultimately what we're trying to do as a screen manufacturer and as an integrator, is take that cinematic experience and transfer it to the home, which is what you're able to do with our screen.
Tell us what sets you guys apart from the rest of the screen manufacturers.
The center of the screen, the brightness at the center of the screen will be identical to the 4 corners of the screen, so there is no difference in visual brightness. There's no what's called hot spotting, where the center of the screen has a very brighter image than the outside portions of the screen, so a very uniform image across the screen, as well as THX certified, which means that we're achieving the same level of performance that George Lucas or THX wants for a theater representation from an audio standpoint.
Screen size that we see here represents the pretty much the largest screen you could fit on the wall.
Correct.
So how do we get the movies that are coming a lot narrower now and a lot wider to fit in this format?
Well, what this particular screen is what we call a 4-way masking screen. When you watch movies on a plasma, for example, you see the bars on the side and bars on the top, and people don't like to see that, especially on a white screen that we have here. It allows us to bring in the side image to mask the unwanted or the unused area of the screen. So now what you're seeing on the screen is exactly what the image is, and you're not seeing any bars on the outside portions of the screen. And it's all done automatically, so if you have a control system or an IR remote control, when the movie that you play, the format doesn't fit the screen, you can press a button or it can be automatically done, where the side masking will automatically motorize in or the top and bottom will motorize down to cover the unwanted white area of the screen. So now the image has much more visual appeal that way.
Great, sounds great.
So here we are in the completed theater. You've seen the transition from the bare drywalled walls to the installation of the interior room acoustics by RPG to the installation of the speakers by Wisdom Audio, including those 3 impressive 8-foot tall subwoofers. Then came the screen, 180-inch 4-way masking screen. And directly above me is the DPI Titan Reference 3D projector. And I'm sitting on these beautiful Scenic loungers. It's all being powered by the Krell incredible electronics, delivering over 14,000 watts of power. This will make for an incredible theater experience. Now let's enjoy.